Hi, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Lisa. If you're returning, thanks a lot for coming back. I'm going to do some food prep for the week, and I just thought I'd show you what I do. I'm sure everything looks like a total mess, but it's an organized mess. So I'm going to start with this. This is leftover soup beans, and it's got a chunk of pork in it. And here's some cornbread that I made. So when I have leftover soup beans, usually what I do is I just put them in a freezer bag and freeze them. But I have a lot of them in the freezer right now. So I thought what I would do is just smash them up real good and refry them with some onion and garlic and wrap them up in some tortillas and have bean burritos. We had the last servings of leftover beans last night for dinner, and they've been in the refrigerator since. So what I did was I just pulled them out of the fridge and let them come to room temperature. And I have some lard that I made that I rendered from some pork fat that I have. I'm gonna get this hot, and then I'm gonna put the beans in the cast iron skillet. So I'm just gonna get a regular tablespoon. Yeah. Put some lard there and heat it all up. All right, so our lard is just about hot enough. Give my pan a good coating. There's my beans. I got a slotted spoon so that way I can like drain a lot of the juice out. Put it back. I'll put some in a little bit later. But it's got little pieces of pork in it as well, so that would be nice for some flavor. I'm just gonna spread them out like that. That's a bone. And I got it on like a medium heat. And I'm gonna smash them up with my potato masher. All right, so these have been frying about 10 minutes or so. I just let them fry. I'm gonna throw in some diced onion and garlic. And let that all cook together. Let that all cook up. I don't know if y'all can see it very clearly, but I got dinner rolls rising and bread rising in the oven right now. So these are my English muffins. I like to make a batch of these at the beginning of the week. If you like the recipe for these English muffins, I have it on one of my other videos. It's called Making English Muffins and Apple Butter from Scratch. Yeah. There's so many things I've done. The sausage muffin at McDonald's has went up as well. We make these at home now. A lot cheaper. I like to set 1 or 2 days aside out of the week to just get things prepped up for through the week, so there isn't so much to do, so much like pressure to get things done. You know, if you don't have the time to sit here and roll all this stuff out and make all this stuff by hand, there's no reason why you can't go to the store and buy it. Buy you a box of English muffins and, you know, just prep them up for the week. Nothing says that you have to do everything by hand, but since I've learned how to do these things myself by hand, it's just really saved us a lot of money, because I used to buy all of this stuff: dinner rolls, English muffins, cartons of eggs, you know, all that stuff, and just being able to cut that little bit out of our budget has really helped as far as like saving money goes. And it tastes a lot better. My mother-in-law used to say that the food always tastes better because it's made with love. And I believe it. Because you gotta love somebody gonna stand here and roll out all these English muffins. But everybody in my family really loves them, especially my daughter-in-law. She loved them. And then Jada's fiance Ashton, he really likes them too. So I make them for them as well. But it's nice to have this stuff just in your freezer ready to go. All you got to do is pull it out, especially if you got like a bunch of chores or, anything you have to do, and you just don't have time to just stand there and cook a whole meal. This stuff, it comes in handy just to have all this stuff prepped up. I never really thought about it until we started doing the homestead, and I started making a lot more things from scratch. Just how nice it is just to have everything already made. Saves time, it saves money. You know where your food comes from, you know what's in your food. You don't have to second guess it, and there's very little preservatives in it. And it's good. It tastes better, in my humble opinion. It takes a little bit more time, but that's why you kind of set a day aside. At least that's what I do. I set like a few hours aside just for cooking, like prep cooking for the week. And like with Vincent right now, he's on overtime, so he's going in at like the butt crack of dawn. So it's nice that he can just reach in the fridge and pull him out a breakfast sandwich, pop it in the microwave, and just be out the door, and I know he's eaten a good breakfast before he goes. So still a little tiny one. Happens to me every time. Sometimes I'll go back through and just add it in here and there, and other times I'm just like, oh, we'll just have a tiny one. That's gonna sit for an hour. I'm not sure how many burritos those beans are gonna make, but I'm just gonna go ahead and start with probably 4. We'll start there, and then if I need to make more, it won't take but a second to warm these up. I'm not gonna cook them all the way like if we were gonna sit down and eat. I'm just warming them up so they're easier to bend and less likely to break when they freeze. If I was cooking them like to sit down and eat with, they would be a lot more done than that. Right now they're just warm, so they're more pliable, easier to roll. Okay, so what I'm going to be putting on my burritos is it's called queso fresco. It's a goat's cheese, very dry. It's a crumble cheese. It is so good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get my tortilla and my beans. They took probably about give or take a half an hour to cook. And I'm just gonna put a little blop on there. I don't want to fill it up too full because I want to be able to roll it. And put a little cheese on top. And then when you go to roll a tortilla, you fold the butt end up and that end up, and just like that. And you have a little teeny tiny burrito. So you roll one end up, the other end up, fold it over, and then roll it over. There you have a little burrito. Bam, just like that. And then you can just freeze them. And again, something nice and easy just to reach in your freezer and grab. And they're so flavorful because they've been sitting for a couple days in the fridge, you know. Alrighty, so we got them all rolled up. We got a few, not a lot, but a few. So we got a few little burritos there. We're gonna get us some cling wrap here. I'm gonna wrap it up. So then I get a freezer bag and I date it and label it. And then they're individually little wrapped mini bean burritos that we can just pull out whenever. And then my beans didn't go to waste, and I don't have another bag of frozen soup beans in my freezer. No, this is something else I grew up eating. And Vince just thinks it's the weirdest thing ever. But to me, it is very delicious. It's just crumbled up cornbread. And now, pour some milk in it. Cornbread and milk. If you know, you know. Okay, for my next trick, I'm going to bake some eggs. And I just take a good amount of butter. And butter up a cookie sheet like this. My hands are clean, I promise. And I just butter it up really good. You can use whatever, I suppose. I just prefer butter because I like butter with my eggs. I cook my eggs in butter. So, and if you have never had a baked egg, OMG, just don't even know what you're missing. It is just so, it's so good. So much better than cooking it in a pan. So these are my eggs for my chickens. Look at that pretty little egg. All the little spots on it. So pretty. My chickens work hard for these eggs. So I'm just going to open them up. I'm only going to do 6 muffins. And the other 6, I'm just going to leave muffins. And then we can just eat them throughout the week, however we want. Like with apple butter or whatever. Just like that. And then I'm going to take and then poke the yolk. Sometimes I scramble them up in a bowl and then pour them out, and sometimes I do them like this. So you can do them either way, and you can sometimes I'll scramble them and pour them on the sheet, and I'll sprinkle cheese over the top of them or something like that. You can do them any way you want. This is just what I do, and I just put a little bit salt and a little bit pepper. And I pop them in a 325 oven. And it takes them about 20 minutes, but I just kind of keep an eye on them and just kind of watch them. And then when they're done, I'll pull them out. And I just have these little country sausages that I got from the grocery store. And hopefully one of these days soon I'll be able to make my own sausage. But as of right now, I can't. So I'll just take 6 of these. I'm going to take 6 of them and I'm just going to throw them in a pan and fry them up like you would with normal sausage. Okay, so I got sausage, baked eggs, and homemade English muffins. And so what I do is I get a small piece of parchment paper, about like that, and I write on it what it is. Sausage, egg, cheese, muffin. Okay. I'm going to take one of my muffins, cut it open. That's what it looks like on the inside. Take a piece of cheese and a sausage. I know, look at that pitiful little sausage. It's okay, they were on sale. I'm going to put the lid on. We're going to start at this corner. We have a beautiful sausage egg muffin all wrapped up. Then I just get a freezer bag, date it, and label it. I'm going to put my individually wrapped muffin sandwiches in there. And then Vincent will have a nice breakfast every day he has to go to work. And I know he's eating well. And from when I made the soup beans that I used for the little mini burritos, I have a bunch of cornbread left over. So I'm just going to wrap that up too and throw it in the freezer. So yeah, it's taken a couple of hours to get all of this done, but it's really worth it because it saves me the couple of hours that it would have taken during the week to do all of this. So in my opinion, I think it's very much worth the time. I also made these dinner rolls. We'll use them for like dinner rolls, or sometimes we use them for sliders, like to make little hamburger sliders or egg sliders, or even pulled pork. I like to put pulled pork on them sometimes. And so I just bag them up, 4 in a bag, because it's only Vince and I, so it's not like I have to feed an entire family. Only like once a week or something like that when everybody comes over for dinner. But usually it's just Vince and I. So I don't have to do a whole lot of prepping. I just mostly like to make sure that he eats at work. Especially with him on overtime now. He needs that extra little bit of nourishment, I think. These muffins I'm just going to throw in the fridge. And you can munch on them through the week. This is the final product, what we got done. We got sausage, egg, cheese muffins. We got mini bean burritos. We got English muffins and dinner rolls, and they can be used for buns or sliders or dinner rolls. And then I wrapped up the rest of my cornbread so I can throw it in the freezer, and we can pull it out and throw it in the oven and warm it back up. Well, thanks a lot for stopping by. It was really fun hanging out with you tonight. If you like my video, give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of my content, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.